Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Shadowhunters, episode 209, titled Bound by Blood, which premiered Monday, February 27th, 2017 on Freeform, released on the 28th on Netflix, which is how I had access to it. So with that all said, guys, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, go do the show first, and then come back to see what I have to say about the episode, because, well, I'm going to be spoiling it for you for obvious reasons. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen, so have a quick reminder for yourself. Otherwise, 10-minute clock. Let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, we find out from Simon that it's been 1 week since he told Clary that he had feelings for her. So since the previous episode, so 1 week, which I didn't really. I thought it was like the day after, 2 days after, but apparently Clary left the blood oath to the very last minute for her to do anything, which brings me to my episode reminder, and that is the blood oath really taking its toll on Clary at a time where chaos is erupting everywhere. So with that said, storyline breakdown, I picked up 3 particular storylines that had the focus. 1, you had finding Madsy. 2, you had Alex search for Isabel, and 3, you had protecting Clary from the downworld. So the first one, finding Madsy, is because of Clary's blood oath being activated. A spell pretty much makes its way into her heart, which kills her if the blood oath isn't completed. We see Jace giving Valentine an ultimatum: either give up Madsy he could take her to Clary and complete the blood oath, or keep Madsy and let Clary die, which Valentine doesn't want, since Clary is the angel he needs to activate the soul sword. So in the end, though, Valentine does hand over Madsy to complete the blood oath for Clary, so saving her, only to have Madsy kidnap Clary shortly after she was healed. So that was the big twist there for that little mission there. Second storyline, though, shows Alec trying to find Isabel. He mentions that he's noticed that something's been off with her since her mission to the Iron Sisters. Only now he brings it up, though. So he goes to Victor. He ends up finding out from Magnus about Isabel getting closer to Raphael, as well as his encounter with Isabel going undercover with a Yin Fen mission. So there's that, but we do find Isabel and Raphael getting closer together to the point that Raphael is sharing his secrets to Isabel that he's never shared to anybody else before, like the fact that his little sister is still alive at 78, and he cooks for her at the retirement home every Sunday. So stuff like that. Alec does find out, though, but because of that, it causes a rift between him and Izzy, and him and Magnus. Magnus because Magnus views Raphael as family, also because Magnus withheld some information that he had suspicions about. Isabel because she doesn't believe that she needs Alec's protection anymore. And this is while she's high as a kite on vampire venom. But we also see Raphael declaring real feelings for Izzy, but Magnus thinks it's just all due to his blood addiction off of Izzy's blood. So there's that. Third storyline, though, has to deal with protecting Clary from the downworld. Word gets out that Valentine needs Clary to activate the soul sword, which would destroy the downworld. We see this when Maya attacks Clary in her werewolf form. We see her in werewolf form. We see her come out of it, go into it again. But Maya as a werewolf, that whole transformation still freaks me out. So there's that. But because of this, we see Luke picking Clary over Maya, even though he claims that she's also family. We also get a look at the Downworld Council, which includes Millinor of the Sealies, who has returned, Raphael the Vampires, Magnus of the Warlocks, and Luke of the Werewolves. And they appear to be the leading factions for this, to try to delegate how to deal with the situation within the Downworld, but now it's split even on what to deal with Clary. So Vampires and the Sealies want to kill Clary to prevent Valentine from using her, but the Warlocks and the Werewolves want to still save Clary and find another way. So it's split down the even, which is causing chaos and riots all over the city. Character-wise, though, we do see the return of Dot, but she has more veins, black veins appearing on her skin due to Valentine's experiments on her. She is forced to tutor Madsy in her magic, and otherwise Valentine's going to start experimenting on Madsy. So to prevent that, Dot agrees to tutor her. We also see Maya again returning, and we find out that she is claustrophobic, which is kind of hard when she has to be locked away during transformations. Also, again, we see the return of Millinor. He comes with Sealy armor, which is supposed to mean war, and he also has visible scarrings on his face, as punishment for helping Clary go to one of the Queen's realms, as he says. Now, runes, though. There's nothing specifically shown for a rune, but the night vision rune was mentioned through Jason Clary. So there's that. Last moment of the episode showed Valentine escaping with Simon as his hostage, with a portal created by Madsy. So there's that. Tidbits, though. You get Victor asking Isabel out to dinner, but she refuses. We also see Alec taking back control of the Institute from Victor by using a little information that Victor was supplying Isabel, a subordinate, with Yin Fen, which is something an ex-field medic should know not to do. So he kind of uses that since Victor can't afford another investigation against him. So there's that. Also, we find out that Valentine's experimental vampires are loose on the city. So there's that, which is causing the Shadowhunters to be spread thin. Most shocking moment of the episode, though, I think it has to be Madsy's magical abilities. I was not expecting her to be... For some reason, I thought she didn't know how to use her powers yet. We didn't see her use them with Iris at all, but when she used them to freeze her hot chocolate into a popsicle, which was adorable, that was surprising. And then to see her open up portals and freezing Shadowhunters and just using her powers with a wave of her hand as easily as she did, it was surprising. I'm impressed, but for some reason I just thought that she never got her powers yet, since we don't know what age warlocks would even start seeing their powers. So that was a fun surprise from her. Moving on, though, to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be Raphael and Isabel. I love the dynamic between the two of them, especially in the kitchen, when they're completely sober, as it were. I love the relationship. I just hate the fact there's that whole addiction factor to it. The fact that they're both addicted to each other. Isabel for Raphael's venom, yet Raphael addicted to Isabel's Shadowhunter blood. I don't like the addiction factor, but I like that when they're not high as a kite, the chemistry and the dynamic between them. I really love that kitchen scene for sure, and just the intensity between them. I love it. So when Raphael explained that he has grown to have feelings for Isabel, I was like, oh my god, yes, perfect. But then Magnus kind of burst in saying, you are only feeling that because of your own blood addiction. So I'm hoping he still feels the same way once he's not high on her blood. So we'll have to wait and see about that. Second favorite moment for me has to be Alec taking back control from Victor Aldertree, telling him not to threaten his family ever again, just taking charge and saying, you're not telling me what to do anymore. You have no authority over me. And he was taking all the Shadowhunters he needed in order to find Clary, who was taken by Valentine at the time. So I really like that Alec put Victor in his place, and he was finally outed for the sabotaging authority figure that he was. So there's that. Third favorite part, I have to say, is the Downworld Council. That whole scene between Luke and Magnus and Raphael and Melinor, it was fun. I had to keep on repeating it just to enjoy it a little longer. And yeah, and also Melinor made a very good point about the fact that all of them have now been involved with Shadowhunters, or they've had their priority shifted because they've involved Shadowhunters in their lives. And then he lists them, and then he outs Raphael's involvement with Isabel, saying, you've gotten involved with her. I know that perfume anywhere, and no one knows her charms better than me, type thing. A reminder of what the relationship was between Melinor and Isabel in the previous season. So that was a fun scene to watch. I'm wondering if we'd ever get council moments like that anymore, or if the whole biased accusation, which is true, is going to cause new members to take its place. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 peeved moments. First one is, I already mentioned, the addictive factor between Isabel and Raphael. I don't like the whole addiction part to their reasons for coming together. So there's that. Second peeve moment was the fact that Luke was claiming that Maya is family to him, only to lock her away with her worst fear of claustrophobia, just to protect Clary. That was really heartbreaking, just to see her begging him not to do this, and him ultimately picking Clary, and I felt really bad for Maya, for sure. So there's that. Moving on to what will I remember most. I look back on this episode. Clary's deathbed scenario, because of the blood oath, was pretty prominent. Pretty much a reminder since the whole, she was almost going to sacrifice herself to save the downworld, and then just her having all these if I'm going to die, just promise me type moments with Simon, with Jace, with Luke, and all that. So that's going to be a huge reminder. Moving on to random questions, but there is the timer. But random questions. This is specifically for book fans. So fans for the TV shows, if you don't know, I do apologize, but it's been really bugging me. But book fans, please, if you have an answer for this, but wasn't a vampire drinking Shadowhunter blood a rare thing in the books? I mean, wasn't it the first time that it happened between Jace and Simon, and it had lasting effects for Simon, more than the blood high that we're seeing between Raphael and Isabel? I kept thinking that it for Jace and Simon, it was like a thing that was like never tried before, but on the show, we see through Raphael and Isabel that it does different things than what I vaguely remember from the book. So book fans, just help me clear up on that fact, if you will. I do appreciate that. It's been a while since I read the first 3 books. So there's that. Second questions for everybody. TV, book fan, whichever fan you are. If Valentine wanted to destroy the downworld, then he already knew that his demon-blooded son would be destroyed too. Is it right to assume this? It kind of looked like when Chase called him out for it, it kind of looked like either Valentine already knew or he just never thought that ahead. I'm pretty sure he knew and just didn't care, or he thought that he created a bigger threat than he realized. So there's that. What is your own thoughts? Comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Last question. So if Clary can never touch this, is the situation that Clary can never touch the soul sword because of her pure angel blood, or can she not touch it because it increases the risk of her getting struck by lightning, which is what causes the decimation to happen? I mean, it's kind of like this. Is Clary never just supposed to touch the sword because you don't want to increase the risk of it accidentally going off, and that's why it's like, just don't touch it? Or is it just something, or is she just really not supposed to touch it, just out of like, you're going to start something with it type of thing? I need that little clarification there for me for that. Moving on, though, to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 210, it is the mid-season finale, so be prepared for it leaving on a cliffhanger for us. But it looks like Valentine uses Simon as leverage against Clary, and it forces her into a position where she gets in close proximity to the soul sword. The last moments actually show Valentine trying to force Clary to touch the sword in the stone from the looks of it. So there's that. Based on the synopsis, though, for 210, it reads that Valentine's plan is in full effect, and the Shadowhunters must act fast to save the downworld. The New York Institute is under attack as Valentine's plan for the soul sword is getting dangerously close to coming to fruition. The Shadowhunters must act fast to save their loved ones and the rest of the downworld. Meanwhile, some of the downworlders have their own plan to stop Valentine, and their target is Clary. It's a little worrisome for Clary, though, but new questions off of all of that. It might be a little confusing for TV fans, but I'm getting this theory off of what I vaguely remember of the books. But in the TV show, as you know, the vision that U3O had shown Clary and Jace showed a demon that they've never seen before touching the soul sword, and it causes both it and the demon to be destroyed on touch. Now, is there any chance that Valentine's demon-blooded son, that demon they've never seen before? Just like how if Clary, with the pure angel blood, can touch the sword and activate it for decimation, is it possible that Valentine's demon-blooded son could touch the sword, yet destroy himself and the sword with it? Is that a possibility? Now, the way I worded it, though, book fans will know why I worded it that way. TV fans, you just got to wait and see if we get that truth soon. But is that a possibility, or is it really just a new demon we've never seen before, and it's really going to look like a charred-looking thing? Please, that's everything. But if you do have your own theories about that, or any possible answers to it, comment down below. I'd love to hear all about that as well. Let me know what you thought of the episode, what you think is going to happen next. Love to hear all of that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place, so go check it out in the link below. It's also connected to my WordPress account. It's more organized over there, but it's still a work in progress. But I don't just do Shadowhunters. Other shows are included on Tumblr or on WordPress. So if you like more shows that I do, then you might find more stuff that you like. So there is that. And that is everything I want to talk about. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the mid-season finale. But until then, guys, this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.